Poetic Diction, another reading. Narrated by Randy Goss. Jumping around again. Page 76 to 78. We are now in a position to survey once more the apparent contradiction between aesthetic and philological judgments. On the one hand, the poet and the critic find language growing more and more poetic as they trace it back into the past. Jumping down, anonymous and mighty poets took hold of a bald inventory and saturated it with poetic values. Jumping down further, we find Macaulay asserting that half-civilized nations are poetic simply because they perceive without abstracting, and absolutely regardless of what they perceive. And a similar view is taken by Jesperson, who is otherwise content to dismiss the whole question of poetic values with the somewhat superficial reflection that after all, we cannot all be poets. Maybe, but that very circumstance might surely have prompted him to investigate a little more closely the consequences of his own conclusion, that once upon a time we all were poets. Jumping down a little further, of these two theories, I have endeavored to show my reasons for regarding the first as absurd and untenable. The second is, of course, not a solution at all. And then jump down, a third solution. Now, I hope you heard me. He said in here, first two theories, but there's a third solution. I suggest that it is one to which we are necessarily led by all that has gone before. It is this, that these poetic and apparently metaphorical values were latent in meaning from the beginning. The earliest words in use were the names of sensible material objects and nothing more. Only, in that case, you must suppose the sensible objects themselves to have been something more. You must suppose that they were not as they appear to be at present.